All right, so this is Matthew Duenas, formerly MA3 Duenas, for those that know me. So this story, I've told a lot of people, and they've told me that this is the most stressful story, one of the most stressful stories they've ever heard. And this is like this isn't like a crazy incident that happened in the military, like I saw someone die or anything, like, real stressful shit. This is like inconvenience after inconvenience after inconvenience, like a whole, just hardships, dude, in a span of from Friday to Sunday. Actually, Friday to Saturday. Sunday was kind of the resolution.
So 2 days.
2 solid days of just all-out stress, bro. All right, so as you know, I was in Bahrain. Bahrain's a duty station in the Persian Gulf. It's a little man-made island, whatever. I was there for 2 years, HBU, like I was in Norfolk, driving a boat. I did that for 2 years, and a lot of shit happened while I was over there. I went over there married, ended up leaving divorced, affairs.
It happens.
On both sides, it was a mess. I wanted to kill myself.
Oh.
But, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Hey, what's going on?
But I had a cat.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I'm allergic to cats, but for some fucking reason, I thought this would be a good idea to get a cat in my apartment. Over there, they call it flats, whatever, apartments. Right. Same fucking thing. People were I had friends that tell me, hey, maybe a cat will, do you some good.
Right.
Something for you to take care of. It worked.
Oh, it's good, man.
Oh, dude, this cat was awesome. I love this cat. It helped me get over my fucking allergies. All I did was sneeze. Yeah, I went to work swollen.
It's like microdosing yourself to poison to build an immunity. Every day you kiss your cat one more time.
So, up to the point where I'm getting closer to my EAOS, which is when PRD, which is when you transfer from one duty station to another. Right. I was getting really nervous for my cat because I'm like, I can't leave her here. Like, what am I gonna do? I doubt Norfolk is gonna let me keep a cat in the fucking barracks. Like, they're probably gonna shoot the cat in front of me. Something. So surprisingly, I actually got in contact with my ex-wife, who we ended things on a good note.
That's good.
At the time. Now we're not in speaking terms. But
that's not good.
We're just not talking.
I got you.
We've moved on. But at the time, I contacted her. I was like, look, I have this cat. I don't know where to put her, but she needs to get the fuck out of this country. Like, I'm not leaving. Listen, I asked so many people.
Is this a story about you smuggling a cat out of the Middle East?
Yes. Okay, well, so hold on. Just listen, right? So it's part of the story.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the gravity of how important this cat was to me, because to me, this cat saved my life.
That's good.
And I did not want to leave it in Bahrain. So like I said, all I could think was, I gotta get this cat out of this fucking country, because no one wanted her.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, and I can't take her to Norfolk. I was going to Texas for a whole month of transitional leave, which is just a month off,
right?
Vacation time in between duty stations, whatever. Get your bearings. So, getting closer to the end of my tour with a couple of friends of mine, we all had to do paperwork with admin about getting our MAC flight ticket. So we did, and the chief, there's one fucking admin chief. We'll call him Chief Bravo. So he asked everyone the same questions, and he goes to me, and he was like, oh, so do you have any pets? And he started laughing. I'm like, yeah, I do, actually. I have a cat. He's like, oh, do you want to take this cat with you? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, oh, Jesus. Okay. So he just gets this whole other wad of paperwork, and he's like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to get immigration papers for the cat and everything. And I did it all. Yeah. I didn't give a shit. I was like, okay. So I literally got everything done within a week span. I went out of base into some fucking weird, like it was this office, like, in the middle of fucking nowhere in this desert land that was next to a Bahraini militia base. And I could hear their little, like, chimes, their fucking, they're... Oh, yeah?
That's what's happening? There's, like, the Muslim call to prayers going on?
Something, man. And then just gunfire, they're at the ranges. It was like, dude, it was just some office out of nowhere. And I was cool friends with this one taxi driver who drove me everywhere. He drove a truck. He was like, oh, I know that place. I'll take you there. I was like, fuck yeah. March comes. Everyone else has their ticket but me. Okay. I kept going to him. I was like, hey, where's my ticket? As I showed up, he's like, no, not yet. So I went the next week. No, not yet. It was getting closer to April. I think April 16th was the time I was getting out.
So what are they making you do in the meantime?
Work.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It just work, dude. Yeah. And dude, I went there every single day and asked him, and he legitimately told me. Oh no, it was a first class that I went to, and he legitimately told me, he was like, if you keep asking me about this ticket, I'm gonna, like, once I get it, I'm gonna rip it up. Like, you're pissing me off. Dude, they didn't give a shit over there. Anyway, so it's the day of leaving, bro. I still don't have a ticket. Where is my ticket? Like, today's the day. He was like, you don't have your ticket? I was like, no. He's like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. I was like, oh no. And he goes to that same chief that I did the paperwork with, Chief fucking Bravo, and they were bickering back and forth, and he comes up and he's like, where's your ticket? I'm like, what do you mean, where's my ticket? Like, I looked behind me, I shut the door behind me, so no one else could hear me fucking raise my voice. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I've been asking you guys every fucking day, and this is what you told me. You told me if I asked again, you would rip it up. And so we get on a fucking golf cart, and we drive to some admin building across base. And I'm just, like, holding on to it, pissed off. And, yeah, dude, we go to the, I forgot what some admin office. I forgot exactly, dude. I forgot everything. But one of their guys comes up to me. He was like, "Look, there are no more seats on that flight. Like, we can't. You're not leaving today." I was like, "Shit." And they're like, "But you can leave next week, next Friday, if there's seats opened." I'm like, "What do you mean if?" He's like, "Well, there's no guarantee." I'm like, "Well, I have a cat too. That, like, I signed all the paperwork. Like, the cat's coming with me." They're like, "No, it's not." I was like, okay. And so I was already pissed, and me and the chief both got called into to senior chief at the time. Okay.
I'll bleep her.
Yeah. So fiddling his fingers. His eyes are swollen. Yeah. His fucking toe is tapping up and down. This dude is nervous, and I didn't look at him. He didn't, like, I was just mad. I was like, I can't believe this is fucking happening to me. You know? So she calls us in the office, and she's like, so what happened? And he just does the most pathetic, I'm sorry, I try with her. Like, he's like on the verge of tears. And I look at my, you son of a bitch. And she comes, like, normally, with any other person below the rank of E7, she fucking screams at him, you stupid son of a bitch, fuck. With him, hey, it happens. Like, I'm sorry you were so stressed out. Hey, it happens. Don't worry about it. And guess what? Guess what day he was supposed to leave? That same fucking day with me. Okay. So, they fucking talk to me. They're like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I want to get out of here. They're like, I'm supposed to leave, like, today. They're like, look, you could leave next week. I'm like, I'm getting a commercial flight. I'm buying my own ticket. I'm getting out of here. I'm not spending another day with you guys. Like, wow. I want to go home and see my family. Like, I'm tired of this place. Like, this is fucking stupid. This should not have happened. Like, I want to go home. They're like, okay, well, if you could get yourself a ticket, we'll figure it out. Stay with us for a while until you get yourself a ticket, and whatever. If so facto, fuck it. And she says, but you have to sign to page 13. I'm like, for God, for what? And she was like, well, since you're buying your own ticket, this page 13 claims is pretty much saying that you can't get reimbursed. Yeah. Because you're buying your own ticket. I'm like,
really, just had that handy?
Yeah.
Like, that happens?
Well, I was like, sorry. I know, dude. I was just as dumbfounded. Like, I'm even more pissed off now. I'm like, wait, but why? They're like, because you're denying our MAC flight. I'm like, I didn't deny your fucking MAC flight. Like, you guys lost my ticket. They're like, yeah, but we're offering you another one next week. So I'm like, I was like, yeah, but dude, there was so much in my head. So
you signed it?
Yes, I fucking signed it.
How much was it?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
All right. So here's what had to happen, right? So I got a ticket from United Airlines, and going from Bahrain to Frankfurt to Houston, Texas to Harlingen, Texas, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. That long ass flight, and then I had to prove a flight. Then I had to buy another flight to prove that I was going to Norfolk. So, dude, it was a whole thing. Anyway, so. That's not all. I had to call each and every airline and each and every stop and let them and request or reserve a spot in the carriage for the cat, because the cat was in the kennel, and the kennel was too big for carry-on.
Wow.
And that was the only kennel size that they had that fucking next whatever. So I had to do that. And the final price wasn't until I did the whole flight with the cat, because the charges vary or some shit like that. It was weird.
Okay.
The chief asked me how much it was because he felt bad, and I was like, it was over $1,200. $1,200, mind you. At the time, I didn't give a shit. I saved over $22,000. I was depressed.
That's awesome. Oh,
yeah,
that's not good. Hey!
Whoa!
That's the second time in one video.
I was rich. Good. I was depressed. No. So
he asked you how much it was.
He asked me how much it was, and I told him that. He was like, oh, jeez. He was like, look, man, I feel really bad. How about $200? I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I feel sort of responsible for this. How's $200? And I did the math in my head. I'm like, oh, so you feel like 20% responsible for all this bullshit you've done? Like,
it's 15, but that's fine.
Or 15, yeah, whatever. I'm not. Anyway, so I was like, dude, I was so mad.
Did you take it?
Yeah, I took it.
He took it.
Look, listen. Honestly,
my God.
I wish I didn't, because I'll tell you why. So here's what actually happened, right? So I was so upset. We go to the Navy Federal Bank at the next that they had over there, right? So okay, so we're in. It's already awkward as it is, dude.
Right.
Like, this guy is like, he's the admin chief for training. Like, he's responsible for so many stupid shit we had to do on training Mondays, training Tuesdays, and like everyone hated him. And I'm sitting next to him. I'm standing next to him in line. So we go to the clerk.
Yeah.
And I'm like this distance away from me, right?
Yeah.
He asked the clerk, hey, like, he's trying to like whisper to him too, like, I want to get $200. I'm just standing there, and the clerk's like, yeah, you don't have $200.
What?
The chief was like, he was like, what do you mean I want $200? The clerk's like, yeah, the bill that you took for staying at the Navy Lodge, like, that was pending. They just took it. You're negative, right? Like, I mean, you're not negative, but you don't have $200. He's like, how much do I have? He's like, a little over 100. And he was like, oh God. He put his hands on the counter and like looked down to the floor, and he like turned to me like while he was looking down. He was like,
and then you're like, hey man, let me give you $200. Like, don't tell him. The tables turn, dude. You're like, man, I feel bad, bro.
Yeah, how the turntables. Yeah. So he looks at me and he's like, how's $100 sound? I'm like, dude. I was like, I looked at him, I was like, whatever, man. Like, I don't care. He's like, okay, give me the $100.
He gave you the last $100.
Yeah, dude. So like, he got the cash. It was just $520s,
bro.
And he we walked outside. He's like, I don't want to do this here. Let's go outside. I was like, okay. Dude, like, I was so dead inside. I was just like,
so
whatever.
Sketchy about it.
Yeah, and he counted the money. All right, here you go.
I'll fall 5.
Dude, yeah. He was like, here you go. He was like, dude, here you go. I'm really sorry, and like, he just walked away. And I used that money to buy like packs of cigarettes, and I smoked them all. I was so stressed.
Yeah. I
sat in a fucking picnic table outside by myself, just trying to like grasp what the fuck just happened.
Wow.
That's not all. So I said goodbye to my buddies. They got on the bus and left. I had to stay for another fucking day. I went back to my buddy's apartment. He was like, what the fuck happened? And I explained to him everything I just told you. Yeah. And I fell asleep that day and had to wake up the next day. That's the end of part 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great...